I'm Anil Kumar, and now let us review the concepts we have learned about quadratic equations. The question here is, consider the function f of x equals to minus 3 times x minus 2 times x minus 6. State the equation in standard form. Find equation of x's, calculate maximum minimum value, sketch and label the graph. So let's begin by writing this equation in standard form. That basically means we need to expand it, right? So we have minus 3 times x minus 2 times x minus 6. So one option is you can multiply one of the factors by minus 3 and then multiply with the other two factors. The other is we could multiply by minus 3 later. So we'll multiply by minus 3 later. That will keep the numbers smaller for us. So let's first expand these two binomials. So when you expand, we'll apply the distributive property, correct? So let us expand. First multiply by x. Both these terms in the binomial, we get x squared minus 6x, and now let's multiply by minus 2. So what do we get? We get minus 2x plus 12. So combine the like terms, minus 6 and minus 2 is minus 8. So I could write this as x squared minus 8x plus 12, right? Now we'll multiply by minus 3 to expand it. So it gets minus 3x squared, minus and minus is plus. 3 times 8 is 24x minus 36. So that is your quadratic equation in standard form, right? So let me write this quadratic equation in standard form. Okay. Now second, third and fourth parts are find equation of x's, calculate maximum minimum, sketch and label the graph. Now to find equation of x's and the vertex, best is to continue with the given equation, which is in factored form, right? So what we will do now is we'll go back to the original equation. Original equation for us is f of x equals to 3 minus 3 times x minus 2 times x minus 6. Now to find the x's, first thing is let's find x-intercepts, right? So first step, let us find x-intercepts. So x-intercepts is when f of x is equals to 0, and that is going to 0 if these factors are 0, right? So let's find x-intercept by equating them to 0. So first is x minus 2 equals to 0, so we get x equals to 2. The second one is x minus 6 equals to 0, so we get x equals to 6. So these are my two x-intercepts. Once we have x-intercepts, we can find the x's. So x's is equals to the average of x-intercepts, right? Average of x-intercepts, that is to say, we'll add them up and divide by 2. So it is 2 plus 6 divided by 2. 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we say x equals to 4 is the axis. Now maximum or minimum value. Since the graph opens downwards, so what we analyze is, we analyze the leading coefficient, right? So it is called the leading coefficient. Leading coefficient is how much for you? Minus 3. That means opens down. If you open a parabola downwards, it leads to maximum. So we have a maximum. Maximum will be at x equals to the 4 value. But what is the value of the maximum? So we'll find the value of function at x equals to 4. Substitute 4 here, minus 3 times 4 minus 2 times 4 minus 6. So that gives you minus 3 times 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 6 is minus 2, right? And that gives you plus value, 2 negatives. 4 times 3, 12. And therefore, we get maximum value is 12. So we got all these values. X is for us is x equals to 4. Maximum value is 12, right? And now, this is a standard equation. And now let us sketch the parabola. From all this information, we can easily sketch the parabola which is opening downwards, right? So what we'll do here is we have two x-intercepts, 2 and 6, which are on the right side of the parabola. So before getting in there, from standard equation we can actually find y-intercept. So that's a good thing to do. Let us find y-intercept also before sketching. That is x equals to 0, or value the function at 0. If I write 0 here, what do I get? I get minus 0 plus 0 minus 36. So that gives me minus 36 as y-intercept, right? So that is the y-intercept for us. So let me make a sketch here. What we see is that most of the graph is on the right side, and with my limitation on space, what I will do here is kind of use that space like this. So we have a graph which has two x-intercepts. One has 2, the other one has 6. And it kind of opens downwards, right? So we'll go kind of like this, right? So we'll go kind of like this and come down like this, correct? I know this is not as per the scale we wished. Anyway, but we'll just label this as minus 36 as my y-intercept, and this point which has gone far ahead, more than 12, right? The scale is not quite right. And this point, which is x-intercept, is at 2. The other one is at 6. And let me just sketch the axis here. This axis will pass through x equals to 4, right? So this value is the center value of these two, which is at 4. So this coordinate which we call as vertex, let's label it vertex. Vertex is at 4, 12, and that is where it is, right? Now these are the two x-intercepts, and this is axis. So we'll call that as we'll just label this as axis. Okay, and these two are called x-intercepts. So let me write x-intercept here. Let me write y-intercept first. Y-intercept is this point. Y-intercept, which is kind of here, right? Y-intercept. And these are the two x-intercepts. We'll write x-intercept now. X-intercepts are these 2 points, right? Okay. So this is the vertex, x-intercepts, y-intercept, axis, and the parabola opens downwards. So that's the description, and with this you can understand all the characteristics of the function represented by the equation f of x equals to minus 3, x minus 2 times x minus 6. I hope this helps you to review the concepts which we have learned. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot. Thank you, and all the best.